Hello, Wisecrack Nation and YouTube community. It is your boy Navi here, coming at you with a new episode of The Flash. I am stepping out of the Speed Force to give to you my review and opinion of tonight's episode. So let's see what happens when we do Fangs versus Fist in the concrete jungle of Central City. I hope you placed your bets because this will certainly be an interesting episode. Well, I see we get right into the fight as we see 12 hours in advance the Flash and Excess down due to an attack of some sort and Grodd squaring off against King Shark. Now we come to the team at Star Labs, going over the fact that Cisco has manufactured a metahuman cure in which the only way to make sure it works is to test it on the metahuman. Unfortunately, throughout the city, Cicada has killed most of the metahumans, or the majority have run away in fear of being killed by Cicada. Barry has come up with the idea to use King Shark, who's originally from Earth 2, as a test subject for the metahuman cure. All they need is his permission. Well, there's one thing to be happy about. Joe West is back in Central City. After a long vacation of visiting Wally in Tibet, Joe has finally come back home. But while having a sit down with Cecile and Iris, Joe comes up with the notion that Cicada still has someone working with him and helping him get to Metas. At which point, Iris gets an uncomfortable feeling that Joe takes notice of. Now we have Barry, Cisco, Caitlin, and Nora heading to Argus to talk to Lila about curing King Shark, at which point she takes them to a dock where the wife of the original King Shark from Earth 1 has been working with him in order to help him communicate and get his King Shark mind under control and stop him from regressing to a shark himself. But unfortunately, something goes wrong and King Shark freaks out and rips off his mental equipment in order to keep him suppressed and becoming more of a shark and swims off. I wonder, is it him regressing back to being a shark, or is he under a mental attack? When dealing with certain members of Team Flash, you can tell certain things about them, like what's wrong, what's bothering them, or what's in their mind. You can tell at this point there's something wrong with Iris, because she's avoiding going back to her new office since Cicada knows where she works now. At this point, she's probably terrified to return, knowing that he could probably attack. If that's the case and she's afraid, she needs to go into training and become the next Ronda Rousey. Put some fist to face. Put your hair up and square up kind of stuff. Back at Star Labs, the team get a hit out on King Shark and find out where he is and head to the wharf. Once confronting him, they put the neurotransmitter that they upgraded back on his head in order to communicate with him. But unfortunately, things don't go as planned as King Shark grabs Cisco and is about to chow down on him like he's a 3-course meal, at which case Barry goes ahead and super speeds the cure onto him and injects him in the neck. And the surprising thing about it is that it works, but unfortunately you can tell by the look on Cisco's face that he's going to be upset with Barry, because the whole thing about the cure was, in order to use it, you have to have a person's permission. And Barry knew that he didn't, but he still went along with it anyway. Well, it seems that King Shark is back to being human for the moment, as is only for a partial time, as the cure hasn't taken a full effect yet. but they said with more adjustments made to it, he could be made permanently human again. But until then, he's gonna keep having attacks and going through a metamorphosis of turning back into a shark. But the bigger part of the picture is Barry. It seems that the last episode has really left a change in him, as he's still thinking that the ends justifies the means. So in order to help metahumans, you might as well force a cure on them. At which point, Caitlin and Cisco question his process on whether he wants to do things as a rogue or things as a hero. Because you cannot, I repeat, cannot have it both ways. And now we come to another situation where Joe confronts Iris at Jitters to talk to her about why she's not going back to her office. It seems that Iris is still afraid to return because of her past run-ins with Cicada at both his home and her office, and now she feels powerless to do anything to stop him. But Joe, being the father that he is, has a way to figure out and remind Iris how powerful she can be. Well, a major twist has just come out of left field. Back at Star Labs, Cisco and Caitlin figure out what went wrong with King Shark and his crown and why he went berserk. Unfortunately, it was too late, as Barry went to go apologize to both Cisco and Caitlin and come to be under attack by Cisco, at which point Barry super speeds him into the cortex, into a dampening chamber to keep his power suppressed, while Caitlin goes to Grodd and gives him a neurotransmitter. It seems that Grodd has left Gorilla City and is back on Earth, and that bodes not well for the Flash. It looks like Planet of the Apes has returned, and Grodd is not going to play nice this time around. Well, we've come to find out why Grodd is back and how long he's been back, which has been a year since the night of the Enlightenment, and that he has been the one targeting King Shark and making him go out of control, but it seems the animalistic side was fighting him the entire time. At which point everyone starts to realize that with the crown that King Shark had, Grodd can now use it to not only mind control more people, he can use it to mind control the entire city. What is it with supervillains and wanting to control the mass people in the city? I mean, really, what do they get out of it? Just servants or what? I mean, what is it that you want? You didn't have enough friends as a child? Boo-hoo. Well, it seems that Sherlock has done it again. He's made another love connection for another couple, as he implements his words of wisdom upon Dr. Shay's wife and confides in her that it's not wrong to be in love with the doppelganger of your former lover, because he himself married the same woman he loves 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I mean, Jesus, he must really love that woman. I guess you could say he really is a lover and not a fighter. Well, now we know why Joe really went to Tibet to visit Wally. It was mostly to visit Wally, but also because he felt broken and bent, because Cicada attacked him in his own home and made him feel like he was weak. And as a father, Joe realized that Iris must be feeling the same way, as he puts her through training and gets her to put on some boxing gloves and go off and make sure she knows how to regain her strength and her anger when dealing with Cicada, to just go off and let him know that she means business just like everyone else. Well, it seems that Grodd is ready to make his move on the city as he goes to the highest point and uses the crown to get a mental control over every citizen. Well, it seems that everyone at Star Labs is trying to come up with an idea on how to stop Grodd. Luckily, Barry has a somewhat workable plan that he could use with Nora in order to bring down Grodd, in which case she can't reverse time, just act as a diversion, at which point when she does, Barry swoops up out of the air as he's thinks of himself as Superman and punches the hell out of Grodd. The plan works until Grodd gives up and pimp slaps both Nora and Barry. Unfortunately, the Flash and Excess are down, and they figure the only way to stop Grodd is for King Shark to make a comeback. Unfortunately for that to happen, and if it does happen, Shay would not only have to go back to being King Shark, but it would stay permanent no matter what, meaning no cure and 100% Shark for the rest of his life. I don't like his odds. Well, it seems we finally come to our Fangs versus Fist fight as the newly energized King Shark goes up against Gorilla Grodd throughout the city. Well, this fight has certainly turned out like a battle of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as we see them fighting throughout the city, launching heavy machinery at each other and causing so much damage that it looks like a Godzilla vs. Mothra movie. At one point, King Shark had his butt whooped by Grodd, but luckily for him, Nora and Barry came out of nowhere with an oldie but a goodie and sent a double team electric bolt back into King Shark and revitalized him enough to wake up and knock the hell out of Grodd. I swear with that uppercut he gave him, it looked like he was Ryu during a Shoryuken. Because once the battle was over, King Shark took back his crown and his title of the most strongest beast there is. Now that everything is back under control, we come to hear Lila tell that Grodd is in a medically induced coma so that his powers can never be used to their full potential as they're growing after using the crown. So fortunately for everyone, Grodd will be asleep for maybe ever, if not a long, long time. But the downside is King Shark won't be able to turn back to being human ever again. Even though the Kaiju battle turned out to be the best, it still had the worst possible outcome. Well, it seems that Sherlock has done it once again. After talking to the girlfriend of King Shark, he's convinced her that no matter if he's man or shark, that the love is still there and those two can find out a way to make it work. I wonder if Sherlock is so good, will he wind up getting his doppelganger to fall for him? There's always hope. Well, it seems that Iris is finally getting a win here as she's made her way back to her office and not being afraid to go back there with the fierce cicada coming. But she's also a little bit upset because she missed the fight between Gorilla Grodd and King Shark. So all in all, we'll still count it as a win. Well, it seems that Barry has finally come around as he apologizes to both Caitlin and Cisco for forcing a cure upon King Shark, and that he's finally come around on how to use the cure as he has an idea of, believe it or not, offering the cure to Cicada. Cicada of all people, Barry? I mean, really, is that what you really want to do? I hope that Barry isn't gonna do an M. Night Shyamalan and give us all the twists that we don't need right about now. Because Cicada is out here killing metas, and that's the last thing we want. Well, Wisecrack Nation, for right now, I'm gonna head back into the Speed Force until next week's episode. Because this Kaiju battle we just had was more than enough to keep a smile on my face. But for right now, do me a favor, stay wise, crack hard, and please do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos, because we will get them to you the best way that we can. Peace.